Hello,
Oh, hello.
I'm Sammy,
And I'm Steve.
and you're listening to Rose Plate Special, the most dramatic, is it really in Chicagoingest, wish to Lake Tahoeingest, happy as a larkingest recap podcast of the Golden Bachelorette ever.
Ever.
And you found us here, so obviously you know one place to find us, but you can also find us at popculturediner.com. If you're confused, just look for Pop Culture Diner. Rose Plate Special is a special within the diner. You
Mm-hmm.
get it? Makes sense?
Like a menu in a restaurant. See?
Yeah. There are other menu options. This is just the largest one.
Yeah. It's called branding. We're doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So there you go. You can find us at Pop Culture Diner, TikTok, and Instagram, and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I just remembered I was gonna watch a TikTok video from Chock's daughter, and I totally forgot to watch it because apparently Chock's getting a bunch of hate. So I don't know. It's like I don't really get it. Like I don't really get the hate, but we
I
can
don't
talk
know.
about that.
I've struggled with Chock because I think he's really in it. Like he's committed and
He's
he's like
100% in it.
genuinely in love with her. My problems are, well, I have a few problems with Chock. Problem number one, I can't take him seriously because his name is Chock, and that's hard for me. Problem number two, let's take ourselves out of the fact that we are watching a television show, or even within the context of the television show.
Mhm.
Let's look at how he chose to introduce his girlfriend to his family and close friends. What if the first time you met your future husband's family was
Mhm.
when he invited you home and then said, "Surprise, it's my mom's funeral"?
I mean, it was, to be fair. Okay, what's weirder? Um, a funeral for a dead bird you've never met?
Yeah.
Okay? Like a
Also
dead
weird.
like, or a celebration of life where they're planting a tree. Like it's not like the full out funeral. It's a celebration of life. It's different, I think.
I
But
I don't
now
know.
I
I
want to
I
know.
personally would not want to lead with my
Well, now I
mom
want to
died.
know what his daughter said, but I had it saved and I was like, I'll watch this right after the episode. And then I was like, oh, we got to record, we got to do this and that. And then I like completely forgot.
Well, now she's going to
Um,
say that guy Steve from Pop Culture Diner Rose Plate Special is an asshole.
is
So
such an a-hole. No, I don't really get I don't think that. I mean, obviously Joan is really important to Chalk to the point
yeah.
that he forewent, being home.
Hmm.
But I'm so sorry I can't report on that. But I will try to remember to link it and then you can watch it for yourself and then we'll be surprised together. But we're not there yet, okay? First of all, new nail alert. Hold on. I
Whoa.
don't know if I can show you. I'm bad at this. I'm so bad at this. Also, my camera is going out still, but there's like little stitches for
Oh, and is
Lisa
that a
Frankenstein.
classic red there? We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. I love it too. I'm so excited. Yeah, because I'm going as Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh,
So I had
well,
to
as you can
dress the
see
part.
from my nails, I'm going as guy who doesn't really take care of himself that well.
Well, listen. Self-care is important. But yeah, anyway, sorry if my camera cuts out. I don't know. I literally restarted my computer and I have like all of the parts for my new computer like ready to go, ready to buy
Mhm.
on October 29th.
Well, last week
That's the
the
day I'm buying it.
gremlins were in my computer
Yeah.
and now they're in your computer. So it's fine. We
Yeah.
just can't have a week where we're both
Yeah.
on. That's
It's
how it
just
works.
gremlins. I was just really happy because because I had a calamitous, I won't go into detail, but I had a calamitous webinar like a week ago. And I had one yesterday that went off without a hitch. So, like, I don't know what's going on. I like literally have Googled is Mercury in retrograde like 5 times. And I know it's not until like November, but I'm like, it has to be something. But there is all those like solar events that were
Mhm.
happening, right? Like, that caused Aurora Boreali. I don't know if that's like a term. That caused extra
Siri,
northern
what's the
lights.
plural of Borealis?
Well, AP style would say Borealises probably.
Probably.
Like syllabuses and octopuses.
I don't get that. So because you got your octopus, octopi, you got your cactus, you get cacti. What if you got more than one fetus? Should be feti.
Well, you taught AP Style, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you
Oh
teach
yeah.
AP Style? Yeah, okay, anyway.
Oh, English
AP
is
Style
bullshit.
makes no sense.
Nothing makes any sense.
Which is why we had to test on it, and students get really confused. Anyway, that's a peek behind the curtain into our former lives. But let's talk about, okay, so we start with Guy in Lake
Mhm.
Tahoe, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so he's rich rich." Got it.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
loaded.
didn't know. Yeah, I was like, I mean, just looking at him, I was like, he's got money. And then she was like, I'm in Lake Tahoe. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think anyone broke lives in Lake
No,
Tahoe.
no, that's
Yeah,
nobody can afford that except
no.
for. I mean, look at his jawline. Of course, he's got Lake Tahoe money.
Yeah, he's got Lake Tahoe money. So anyway, so they go there and they're gonna go boating and make a wish in the lake because apparently that lake is magic. Maybe that's why everybody there is rich. Maybe they all wished in the lake. Maybe we just need to go there and wish in the lake, and then we'll be rich. It's amazing. I
That's
didn't
probably
even
the
think about
move.
that. Yeah, that's probably the move. So anyway, Guy feels sorry, and I'm looking at my phone because I'm trying not to add any more strain to my computer. So I'm not ignoring you or texting friends, everyone. You
Wow.
are my treasured audience, but this is gonna be a little pared down today. But yeah, so they go boating. Guy's talking about guarding his heart. We've got a couple guarded men on
Mhm.
this on
Did the
this
little heart
season.
guarding.
Yeah, and it's not them saying, I will guard and protect your heart. It's them saying, I'm guarding my own heart. But
You gotta have
but
that reckless love, guy.
oh yeah, that's another one. Jeez Louise, these men.
Oh, they're the
Also,
worst.
do you want to do like a special episode on the new season of Love is Blind, just like a one-off?
Sure, yeah.
Are you watching it?
I am not watching it with any frequency. It's one of those things that's
Yeah.
on like ambiently for me, and I just like I'm folding laundry and it's just there and I'm absorbing it.
Yeah.
But I can give it a critical watch for the sake of the
Well,
podcast.
I mean, just when you get to the last, I mean, I'm on one of the last episodes and I'm just like, these men are anyway. So, I just made me think of that with the trash men. I think we should probably do a
Mhm.
one off for that. I think it'd be fun. So Joan wants love, but she's having a hard time letting go of John. But you know, she thinks her life would be better with someone else in it. And Guy's like, you take all the time you need. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. And we see Guy's family, lots of G names. Lots of G names in this family.
Mhm.
Um, and okay, so when Joan meets Guy's family, at least in this edit, she talks about Charles, but she doesn't talk about Kim. And I'm really sad about the Kim erasure.
Yeah. We love
Yeah.
Kim. Come
The
on. He
Charles
wrote her
thing
a
was
song.
sweet though. He had
Yeah.
Guy did have two winning moments on,
Mhm.
this season where, he put Charles's mind at ease, after feeling tormented for so long. And then, but also saying, Kim, I will sing your song with you. Everybody
Mhm.
else is a jerk. Okay. And I'm here for you, which was really cute. Um, so yeah, so I don't know. I don't have a ton of notes for this. The date goes well. The family really likes him.
Yeah.
One of his sisters said happy as a lark, which I don't feel like I've heard in a long time.
No. It's real
I'm
old
like,
timey.
people still say that? You're happy as a lark.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean this is
yeah.
this is your standard hometown thing where it's like we have learned nothing new about these individuals. It
Yeah.
just kind of like is what it is. Um, the only thing I know is like Guy is definitely wealthier than I thought he was.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
and again, I guess I'm for the record, I'm not dating Chock, but if I was, I would not want to go to his tree burial for our first meet the parents date. Uh-uh.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. The only thing, well, and we'll get there, but I did say to Tuck, I was like, can you imagine going to Lake Tahoe and then kind of not Chicago and then Wichita, Kansas? What a
No.
letdown.
What a letdown. Yeah, I've
No
been to
offense to
Wichita.
Wichita. No offense to Wichita, but
Yeah, not
I
my
mean,
speed.
yeah. I'm just saying I would start in Wichita
Mhm.
and then escalate and end in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
is
I would
nice that
do.
I don't know, is it nice or is it not so nice that she got a twofer in Chicago? Like, I would like to travel like, I want people from exotic locations.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is okay, so do I have anything to wrap up the guy thing? And then we'll move on to that. The only thing I also have to say is like this season, the going all in looks very different from like the Bachelor or Bachelorette, right? Because
Hmm.
Guy just says like, I'm really falling for you, and that's going all in. So that's the bar.
Yeah.
Um, so here's the thing. Do you know where in Chicago Pascal's business is?
I thought it was like, isn't he like a North Shore guy or something?
Yeah, Glencoe.
Okay.
He's in
Okay.
Glencoe. So I was like, I mean, sure, Chicago.
Yeah, and then where is what's his face?
Well,
I'm
I
like I'm
don't know
blanking.
where Jordan stuff
Jordan.
is,
It looked like
but
he was in like Wicker Park
yeah,
ish,
somewhere around there. Well,
or
near
like one
Lou
of those
Malnati's.
neighborhoods. Like he's like kind of by Wrigleyville, but not like the
Yeah.
part of Wrigleyville where a Cubs fan is gonna like pee on your garage door.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I just okay. First of all, okay, we're just gonna do the Chicago thing, and then we'll go back, I guess. Um, do you like? I don't know enough about deep dish. And I also just kind of think deep dish sucks.
Yeah.
I'm a Detroit style gal myself.
Oh, so am I.
I
As a former
know.
Metro Detroit native for the first
It
like
is the most
23 years of
legit
my life.
pizza. It's
Yeah,
the
it's the
most
best.
legit pizza. In my opinion, I think Detroit style pizza is the best style of pizza. And I think Milwaukee also has very good pizza.
I agree.
And
That's my one and my two.
yeah, Milwaukee does more like the thin crust, but it's
Tavern
really,
style, as the
really, really
Chicago
good.
folks would say. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah, you go to Ned's Pizza, you're gonna get one of the best pizzas you've ever had in your life. Okay.
Mhm. Yep,
Heard it here first. So yeah, like I feel like we've been spoiled. We're from very good pizza places.
yep.
Um, and then you go to Chicago and you're like, what is this soup? Like this is just a disappointing casserole. And and then he picked
Mhm.
Lou Malnati's as the place
Which
to
is
go.
like
And
that's like a
that's so
chain.
touristy. Like
Yeah, that would be like
you don't actually have a favorite Chicago deep dish place? Like
yeah,
that to me
which the
rings so
equivalent
false.
it's such a red flag, I agree.
Mhm.
And the equivalent would be so for like Detroit style pizza would be like if I took someone to hometowns in Detroit and I took them to Buddy's Pizza, which is
Okay.
good, but Buddy's is a chain. There's probably
Yeah.
50 Buddies in Michigan. So like what or Jets Pizza or something like why would I do that when I
Yeah.
could take them to like a really special spot? So that was a major red flag for me. And I just want to say my hottest of hot takes is I do not care for the regional city delicacies of Chicago. So if you look at their
No.
big three, I think your pizza is a casserole and I shouldn't have to knife and fork it. Not interested.
We're gonna get in trouble
I think
today.
your hot dog is absurd.
I actually
Okay.
like the hot dog. I will be honest about that. I like the Chicago dog.
Listen.
I'm
What
just
did
saying I
Coco
like it.
Chanel say? When you leave the house, you got to take one thing off. That hot dog put 10 things on.
What would you
You've
take
got
off of the hot dog?
literally anything. There's so many things on there. It's just like, why? Got to have the celery salt. If I don't have celery salt, the whole thing's ruined. Absolutely not. Get these gimmicks out of here. Your special bun, your goofball peppers, your big ass pickle. No. Okay. And then the worst, and this is the one I'm going to catch flack for.
Yeah.
Chicago beef sandwich.
Yeah, you
The
don't
hot
like
beef sandwich.
you got beef with the beef?
I got beef with the beef. How do you make a sandwich that is somehow soaking wet, like soggy, and yet dry at the same time? Like the bread is
Yeah.
just falling apart and the meat is like shoe leather. Absolutely not. Chicago, you're getting a wag of the finger for your culinary
Wow. You really
delights.
don't.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have
This
no
is how we
opinions.
grow our audience. I have to court controversy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're also like I mean, I'm contractually obligated from birth to hate Chicago, and you grew up
Mhm.
with it, so that's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
did Detroit and Chicago have any beef, or is it too far away that it doesn't matter?
Too far away doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, that's what I figured.
It's like two different
Yeah,
worlds.
yeah,
Whereas Chicago is just like, we're expensive and we think we're better than you. And Milwaukee's like, we're not expensive and we're still pretty cool. Leave us alone, you
yeah.
bullies.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, I don't have any opinion about like Chicago beef at all because I've never had it. But I mean, I don't know, like what's a Wisconsin equivalent to that? Like French dip? I don't even know.
I don't know, but it's like if you go like regionally,
Mhm.
if you go to Philadelphia and you get a cheesesteak, it is everything that a Chicago
You
beef
can't really
sandwich will
miss
never
with a
be.
cheesesteak.
No,
Cheesesteaks
they're
are, like,
beautiful.
perpetually good.
So good.
Um, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like Milwaukee has brats, and brats are good, and you can't
Yeah.
it's hard to mess up a
Cheese
brat.
curds, beer.
Cheese curds are fantastic, and we've got really good pizza.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
and good tacos.
Yeah,
So it's
we're
like,
we're
what more do
better.
you need? You really don't need anything else. But yeah, it's just yeah, I was just like, I'm like, Lou Malnati's either gave him money or Jordan's gotta explain himself. And I'm sure other people in Chicago are mad. Because
He's
I'm
he's
like,
an invest he's an investor in like a local Lou Malnati's franchise.
oh, maybe. I don't know. It was just like I was like, "What is going on?" But I just thought it was funny. So we'll go back to the Pascal date, but I thought it was funny that, with Pascal, they were like she's like, "We're in Chicago. I get 2 days." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure it's like not Chicago." And I was like, "Oh yeah, Glencoe." But it looks like he had a salon in Chicago, maybe at one point. And I'm not dogging on Pascal. I like Pascal, and I think this was his best date for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I think his hometown went the best. It was the best date. He has, like, an extremely photogenic family,
Mhm.
and they're all, like, really sweet. It was, like, the most, like, heartwarming date, out
Yeah.
of the 4. But I thought it was funny that when she got to Jordan's date, she goes, "I'm in the heart of Chicago."
The
I was
real
like, "I'm
one.
in Chicago," and then she's like, "I'm in the heart of Chicago," and they're like, "Look, here are even street signs in the river, so you know for sure."
Mhm.
But anyway, so I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
Um
I still have a lot of question marks around Pascal. I do not see a path to victory for him just
Mhm.
because I think her biggest concern was like, is Pascal serious about this? And she talked to his family and they're like, yeah, he's had a lot of girlfriends, he goes on a lot of dates, and
Yeah.
he's just kind of sick of dating, but we think you're the one. This is going to be different. And it's sincere and I believe it, but
Mhm.
also it's like I still don't see him outside of he's the good time. He's not the long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I knew that the date went well enough for him to secure
Mhm.
the next one. Like, I put down his name before she gave him the rose. I was like, "It's gotta go to Pascal." Like, he's gotta get one. If it's between him and Jordan, he's getting one. I felt like Jordan was gonna get the axe, even
Yeah.
though that date went well too. But anyway, so let's talk about Pascal. Yeah, it was really cute to see him at the salon, adorable. He needs more Google reviews, everybody. Go give him nice he's only got 40 reviews on Google. They're good.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Only 40? That's actually surprising. Yeah,
I
go give
know.
Pascal a review.
They're like, go get your hair done and then give it
Mhm.
a review. Make it honest.
Yeah.
But I was like really surprised. I was like, you only have 40 reviews, but he's got 4.6. That's respectable. On Google, really nice. Um, Everybody said it's incredible, so nice. Love Brenda. Had good experience with getting your hair dyed. Wonderful, caring people. Best salon anywhere. Professional staff. Oh, they just love it. Second to none. Yeah, pretty much everyone gives it 5 stars. So, he's got good reviews. One person didn't like it. Somebody gave it a 1-star
Oh, there's
review.
always somebody.
Yeah, there's like 2 stinkers. Someone said, "I got taken advantage of and robbed." Um,
Mm.
she I don't think so. I'm looking at the price. Listen, as someone who spends a heinous amount on my hair, like I hate like way too much on my hair
Yeah.
and my nails. I mean, if I had the opportunity to marry someone who ran a salon, forget about it. Oh my god. I would do it.
Mm.
I would do it in a heartbeat. What a fun, fancy thing to do.
Yeah, I highly
Yeah,
recommend it.
yeah. I think that's the way to go, you know? I mean, I get, like, free logos, so that's
That's
the
not
perk
bad.
I get
Yeah.
free
I've got a
identity
graphic
materials.
designer.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it comes in handy way more often than you think. I'm like, "Can you create a little label for this jam that I made?" And he's like, "Yeah, how's this?" And I'm like, "That looks so professional. Thank you." And then, I just saved myself a bunch of money. So anyway, what I'm saying is if you're going to marry someone, make sure they do something interesting that can save you money. That's what you want.
Mhm.
That's what you want. Um Yeah, but okay, so here's my marketing advice for Pascal. Address these 1-star reviews because there's only a few of them. Most of them are 5 stars. These are probably like, I mean, knowing where this is located, I know exactly the type of person who's complaining. If you need some marketing help, Pascal, I will help you. Just in exchange, I've driven very far to get my hair done. Okay, and I'll do it again. So if you need it, that's the offer. I will help you if you do my hair. Okay,
We're here
great.
for you, buddy.
So we've established that. But no, like the family is really lovely. He has some really tender moments. I feel like we actually do learn more about Pascal in this date and like we see a
Mhm.
more tender side of him. And one of his daughters seemed like she didn't want to be she seemed like she did not want to be on camera. She didn't really talk very much. I had to like rewind because I was like, is that his son's girlfriend? But no, they all look alike. I think that's his other daughter. And I had to like rewind to confirm that that was his daughter. But she was just like really quiet and didn't want to be on camera, I don't think,
Sure.
which is fine. But yeah, his older daughter was like, I think she's part of the family already. Like, and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Um, and then we see the "Did you kiss my grandpa" clip that just kept going to, and she's like, "I did. Isn't that weird?" And
Moving on.
he's like, "Oh, that's so awkward." But yeah, it was cute. His friends were sweet. Yeah, it seems like I don't know, it just seems like he's got a well-rounded life and
Yeah.
he's got it together and all that's missing is I don't know, maybe
A
not
little
Joan, but
Joan.
we'll see. Um and then I said, "Oh, maybe we'll see Maxime on The Bachelorette someday." Mark it. I don't know. I don't know.
Possibly. You never know.
I don't know. I don't maybe he's not interested or it's not
Apparently, this is
applicable.
like the big thing on the internet right now,
Really?
which again, I try to stay off of
Oh,
these
I didn't
things,
even
but
notice.
yeah, the women that I work with in my office that I talk about The Bachelor with and Bravo shows with, they were like, "Yeah, everybody's talking, and they all want Pascal's son to be on The
Well, see,
Bachelorette."
I calls it like I sees it. I
Yeah,
saw him and I was like, "He'd be a really good contestant." That's all I'm saying. Okay. I didn't know that everybody was
you
saying
never
that, but
know.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, which,
Um,
by the way, everybody could just be the women on the 7th floor of my building. It's hard to say, but it sounds
Everybody's
like
talking about it.
they when they say everybody's talking about it, I believe them.
I mean, listen, it's not like wouldn't be near the first time we've had lots of family members on the
Mhm.
show.
Oh,
And
Bachelor loves that. That's like
it's
their
like
favorite thing.
it's like so weird though when they don't disclose it and then you find out
Yeah.
later like, "Wait, you 2 are siblings?" And
Mhm.
like they never said anything and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're siblings." It's efficient. It's efficient for casting reasons. Okay, so now now we go to the Jordan date. Pascal also says he's looking forward to the next chapter. That was kind of his closing for
Mhm.
this date. Um so now they're actually in Chicago. And they go to Lou Malnati's. I also want to know where that cake is from. I was trying to figure it out and I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, it looks like the horrible vending machine cake
Yes,
in at airports.
it
That's
does.
what I was saying. I was watching it. I was like, "Is that vending machine cake?
I don't think
Jordan,
it's
you
the
should be
vending
cut now."
I don't think it's the vending machine cake, but I'm like, does Lou Malnati's also have cake or is this like another place?
It's
Cuz
literally just like a
they
vending
got
machine
top
on Navy
billing.
Pier.
Well, they got top billing and then it was like and then they did. Oh wait, hold on. Is it Letza or whatever? Is that the one? Letza cake? Cuz
Is that
they
the
sell
big
that
red vending
together.
machine?
Well, that's like what's his face? Why can't I think of it? It's, like is it Cake Boss or is it the other one?
Oh, yeah.
The
It's
other
it's
cake
called
guy?
Carlos Bake Shop.
Wait, did you
That's
find it?
no, I didn't find
Oh.
the one from The Bachelor. I just know that's the cake vending
Oh.
machine that's in airports and casinos across the nation.
I think the brand is Letza. You heard it
Okay.
here first, but I could be 100% wrong. But it looks like that's like a Chicago thing that is known and they do have a picture of a well, I don't know if they do rainbow cake. Anyway, really good reporting, Sammy. Good job. You don't know anything. But there's one that has sprinkles on the outside and it could have rainbows on the inside.
We
Who's to
don't know.
say? Could be. Jordan, spill your secrets and tell us what your actual favorite deep dish pizza is. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Okay, anyway.
Confirmed
So
they have a rainbow velvet cake.
oh, you did? Oh,
Yes.
you
So
confirmed
that
it?
confirmed it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was right? Maybe?
You were
I'm
correct.
assuming because they sell that with Lou Malnati's, like, you can get that
Yeah.
bundled.
It
It's like
looks like this
Taste of
could be it.
Chicago.
I don't know though. This is more like these are like more earthy colors. It doesn't have like the
Oh,
comical
see, that's what I
rainbow.
said.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, anyway.
I'm starting to think, I think it's a cake vending machine from the airport. They went
Okay,
to
Jordan,
O'Hare.
you need to tell us. It's otherwise we're gonna spread this conspiracy theory that you like vending machine cake, okay?
Yeah.
So just admit it.
That's
Admit
right.
it.
Come clean, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, don't be afraid of the truth. And then say what is on your mind that Milwaukee is better than Chicago. No, I'm just kidding. So I don't have a lot of notes about Jordan's date except for I think when people say things like and this is me speaking not from personal experience but from personal observed experience. When people say things like making fun of me is the pastime of the family, that shit makes me so sad. I know he thinks it's like fun. That depresses me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever all the way fun. But
No,
that's all I'll say
probably
about
not.
that.
Yeah.
But you know, his family's cute and they're all cheering him on and he definitely has unconditional love for his kids. That's very cute. But he's like holding back. He's not ready to say I love you. He's like I wouldn't be ready to get engaged if
No,
that
he is the
happened.
least ready, and
Yeah.
he has been the most anxious the whole time, which is why
Yeah.
last week I was like, "This guy's cooked. I'm picking him to win because
Mhm.
I'm always wrong."
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, that was quite a daring choice.
yeah,
So yeah,
I
I
should
don't
have
have
been
a
playing 4D chess. I should have not picked him because, of course, I would pick him because he's not going to win.
yeah, that's wow, you're did you see by the way,
Wow, Steve, that's really impressive. Yeah,
by the way, did you see the Substance? Have you seen the Substance yet?
I did see the substance.
Oh
Yes,
my god, I'm gonna be thinking about this movie for years. I'm
that's
never
so
gonna stop
good.
thinking about it. It's incredible. But when you're talking, I'm like, when you said 4D chess, I was just thinking about like, and I won't no spoilers or anything. But I will be doing like a long review on TikTok probably this weekend. So go to Sammy Ditto if you want to see that deep dive. But it made me think about like keeping the balance, maintaining the
Mhm.
balance when you said you're playing 4D chess with yourself.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
anyway, that's all I'm going to say. No spoilers. Okay, so then we go to Wichita, Kansas at a ranch. So we go from Chicago to hay bales. Um, celebration of life for my mom. What a big deal. Kathy's
yeah.
father
Which
is
Joan seemed to be
here.
into it. She was all touched and stuff, and
Yeah.
Doc
No,
was hyped. But I was just like, I guess and this is why, like, it's Joan and it's not me. But I still think that's a risk. That's a big
it's
swing.
like, but it's like, I also
Everybody
think
else is
it's,
like, take a shot of Malort and have my vending machine cake.
oh
And
yeah, I
he's like,
forgot to
my
mention the
mom died.
Malort. I wrote down the Malort and I forgot to mention it. Yeah, that's why I was like, it's got to be like a Chicago-y brand, right? For
Hmm.
the cake. But anyway, maybe not. Um, but yeah, so Kathy's father's there, Chock's father's there, brothers. The thing that I thought was interesting is that Chock didn't have like, at least we didn't see like a full date before they did that. They just like went straight
Hmm.
to the ranch and it was just all family time. So
Yeah.
like on the other dates, you know, it was like we're having some one-on-one time and then we're going to this other thing with, you know, with family and friends and stuff for the hometowns. So I feel like that I mean, not that Chock can be put at a disadvantage right now because I feel like he is definitely strong
Hmm.
and probably still in the lead. But yeah, it was just kind of weird that it was like composed that way,
Oh, it was
you
so
know?
weird. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
they didn't do any fun activities. We don't even see like Chalk's house. It's like, do you just live in a grassy field? Do you live
Well,
on
yeah,
the
it
range,
was his
Chalk?
friend well, it's his friend's ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, where's Casa de Chalk?
Yeah.
Because as far as
Yeah.
I could tell, he's just Kevin Costner and Dances with Wolves. Like, what's the difference?
Well, I don't know. You gotta ask him. Well, he's gotta have some place where he makes that soup.
Mm, it's true.
I don't know why I thought of that. He's chock full of kitchen supplies somewhere. I don't know where, but it's somewhere. But yeah, so they do it was interesting, right? Because they do the celebration of life and then they're like, "Okay, back from commercial break, time to party." And they're like, "Put on these Dorothy slippers," and that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's like yard games. It's like very Midwestern. It's like we're all hanging out outside and, you know, throwing things into things
Mhm.
and eating on paper plates and, I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, and, Joan gets emotional about Chalk and she's like, I see a future with him and like, and then I wrote down, I kind of blacked out. I got a little bored. Um, I mean, I know that they like each other. I just don't know. It's
Yeah.
the least interesting. What? Okay, now here's another thing I'll say. Here's another vote in Pascal's favor.
Okay.
She because I was like, I started leaning towards the men that she said, "Oh, I feel safe." Reminds me of John. Reminds me of John. The only man she said reminded her of John now at this point in the game is
Mhm.
Pascal. She didn't
This
say
is true.
any other man reminded her of John. Now that could be good, that could be bad, but obviously she's having a hard time letting go of John. That's a long
Mhm.
relationship. It's of course understandable, and she's never going to fully let go and fully move on. She's always going to carry him in her heart as she should. So would that be easier with someone who reminds her of things that she loved about John? She's like, he always
Mhm.
like, and I guess I didn't realize that about John until she mentioned that on Pascal's date. Like she was like, he always makes everything big and
Yeah, big
Pascal makes things
personality.
big and it's exciting and I like that. And she was like, and I could really see a life here. And it seemed like
Mhm.
she had no hesitation, like, I'll pick up and move. Like,
And he can do
absolutely.
her hair too, which is important.
That's what I'm saying. That's like such a win.
Mhm.
So she obviously has a very big like emotional connection with Chalk as well. But the things she said about the two of them were different.
Mhm.
And that's just me like completely discounting Guy. But I think next week it'll probably come down to I don't know. Maybe Pascal will go. It's hard to say. It's hard to
Yeah.
say. I just don't know if I see it with Guy either. I feel like it's gonna come down to Chalk and Pascal, and it'll be
Yeah, I think that
exciting.
Chock is the safest bet.
Yeah.
I wonder, I do you think this is something that's always on my mind too. We've seen in the past where there's drama that arises during the fantasy suites
Mhm.
because all of a sudden the light bulb turns on and a jealous guy, or in some case jealous woman, goes, "Oh no, they're banging the other ones too."
Yeah. That's
Now,
always weird.
will this be an issue? Is a guy from
Hmm.
Wichita, Kansas, Chock, who by all means is the front runner, is he too, is he too conservative for something like this? Could that turn him off?
Yeah.
Or whereas Mr. Lake Tahoe, this is every weekend for him. Pascal, oh, in France, come on, bring them
Yeah,
all into the room.
I don't
We'll
think
have
Guy
one fantasy suite.
I don't think Guy or Pascal would be bothered by it. I
No,
agree that Chalk could get bothered by it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
just based on and because he's just like, it's me, right? It's me all the way
yeah.
to
Is
the
it
end.
me?
First
Yeah,
kiss, last kiss, this is it. So he might also like take it harder, you know.
sure. But also, if I'm
Um,
Joan, even if I have a favorite roller coaster, I'm going to ride all the rides. So
yeah. Okay, so if
I
the men were
specifically
roller
said that to
coasters
see what face that you would make.
so if the men were roller coasters, what kind of roller
Yeah.
coasters would they be? Tell me.
Wow. Well, a guy like Pascal, he's a big personality
Mhm.
and he's exciting. So he is clearly the top thrill dragster at Cedar Point.
Okay.
Uh, whereas, uh, you know, a guy like Guy, there's still an air of mystery to him. Do we really
Mhm.
know the real guy? I'm not sure. He's kind of like Space Mountain, which is shrouded in
Oh,
some darkness,
okay.
but still a good time.
Yeah. Oh, great time. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Let's see.
So
Jordan would be that pirate ship ride at
no,
like the
Jordan's
county
Batman.
fair.
Jordan's Batman.
I think he's the pirate ship ride at the county fair because it's not really a roller coaster, and you get a little nauseous, and it's committed to only doing the same thing, and it breaks sometimes.
No, I think Jordan's Batman. I think
Why is he
Jordan's
Batman?
Batman. Six Flags Great America. Well, because there's nothing more Chicago than going to Gurney, and
It's true. Jordan's actually the outlet mall.
and it's only 20 seconds, and
Mhm.
and yeah, that also breaks a lot. And it's kind of an awkward way to sit because you're kind of your legs are hanging out and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think Jordan's Batman.
Okay, you make a compelling argument.
Okay, just saying.
Also, I just want to say, Jordan, if you ever want to hang or if you ever want to do an interview for the podcast, I will meet you in Gurney at the Rainforest Cafe.
Me too.
Name
Me
the
too.
day and the time.
I'll come too.
Sammy will be there.
100% I'll be there. That's one of my
We
favorite
love the
activities.
Rainforest Cafe. Did you know they have gluten-free buns there?
Did you know? Yeah, I love Gurney. No, Jordan, Batman is one of my all-time favorite roller coaster rides. So just saying, I'm giving you one of my favorite roller coaster rides. Okay, and then Guy. Wait, do we say Guy?
Yeah, Guy's Space Mountain.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
I
what's
know what
Chock?
Chock is. Chock's American Eagle.
It's a good choice. That's a very
I
good
wanted to
choice.
do all Six Flags ones, but I think Space
Yeah.
Mountain's good. I've never been to Cedar Point.
Mm,
I know.
you're missing out. That was a big one.
Rhyme.
When you grew up in Michigan, you go to Cedar Point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you grow up in Wisconsin, you go
to
Great
Great
Gurney.
America, yeah.
That's all you do. You go to Gurney, and then you go to Disney like a
So
couple
I've
times.
never been to that Six Flags.
No.
I've only been to the one in California. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
Great America. It's a good one. It's a good one.
oh my God.
Yeah.
When I went to the one, it was actually really annoying when I went to the one in California, because this is back when many years ago, dear listeners, I was a high school teacher, and the senior trip was to Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, like, when you're a teacher, you have to like volunteer for certain things. Like, there's a list, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'll volunteer for Six Flags. That's easy. So I go to Six Flags. Everything's fine because, like, I'm a chaperone, but essentially these kids, I'm like, you need to like literally check in with me for 3 seconds every couple of hours, and otherwise I don't care what you
Make
do.
sure you're alive. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the kids took a bunch of drugs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I just have this kid just like tripping balls on Molly. And I was like,
no.
yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
And then he's like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, I know exactly what you did. I was you once.
Oh my God. Okay, so like, what's funny? So when I was in high school, we road tripped it to Disney as like a band and choir and orchestra. So it was like 4 buses.
Oh my God.
Like we're all 24-hour ride to Disney. Okay.
Mhm.
And of course we stopped at Cracker Barrel. Like, of course. And then
Yep.
we'd stop at those like big truck stop, gas stations and stuff and whatever. And we did not stop very often. I mean, we stopped like a handful of times and we made it down there, and then we did the same thing back. We just 24-hour bus ride back. And we were there for maybe like 5 days, 6 days. We were there for quite a while, but basically we had to perform a certain amount of time. So like we'd perform somewhere at Disney, and then we'd basically get to fuck around like the rest of the day. And I was in everything because I think that's obvious.
Yeah. Sammy does everything.
Yeah. So I was in the band, the choir, and the orchestra. So like I did the most performing a person could have done in our group, at Disney. And even with that, I mean, it was like we would perform and it would be like an hour of our time to like get there, get everything ready, perform. And then it was like, now you've got like 12 hours or whatever to do anything you want at Disney. And I was so certain that someone was going to fuck it up for us, and like where our freedom was going to be severely restricted. And I remember just like looking around at everybody like, nobody ruined this for me. I am having a good time and I don't want to be told what to do. And because they would just like let us off the bus and they would be like, just meet us here for lunch or meet us here for dinner. Literally everybody showed up on time. Everybody did everything that they were supposed to do. I have never been with a better behaved like high school group because like none of us wanted to mess it up. So we were like, we are all going to be perfect on this trip. And it was so much fun. Anyway, so I have not experienced I did not experience the tripping balls student or anything like that. We were all perfect little angels. And then on the last night, some of my my boyfriends, but not boyfriends, came into our hotel room, and then we were like
Scandalous.
curling their hair and doing their makeup and like wrapping them up in toilet paper. And then
That's
like
fun.
the chaperones came over and they were like, you're good. Okay, bye. They were just like, carry on. You all seem
Oh my
like you're
god.
having a really good time. And we're like, we are. Um, so anyway, that was a fun question asking what roller coasters they are. But yeah, Chalk is
Mhm.
definitely American Eagle. Wooden,
Why is it a
um,
wooden? Yes, he has to be a wooden coaster for
wooden.
sure.
Wait, did you ever so have you ever ridden does Six Flags have American Eagle at other Six Flags?
So they have a wooden coaster equivalent,
Okay.
and then of course you have Cedar Point roller coasters like the Mine Ride, which is I'm
Mm.
sure very
Ooh,
similar.
that also sounds very chalky. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, American Eagle is like a wooden coaster. Now, the only thing that maybe makes it not as good of a fit is sometimes they would do it backwards.
Hmm.
So, like, depending on when you went, sometimes they would have it go backwards, which, is a little thrilling. But maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
little thrilling.
Chalk's got it in him, I don't know.
That's why he's Chock and not Chuck because he's got a little
Yeah,
bit
because
of
'cause he's got a little
mystery to him,
something different. So, like,
a
every
little
once
something
in a while,
different.
it goes backwards. Yeah.
Hmm.
Exciting. Every once in a while, he adds something different to that soup. And you're like, I'm tasting a little something different, Chalk. What's going on in here? What's in the soup? So yeah. So Joan gets to the rose ceremony and she's kind
Hmm.
of in a funk, but that orange dress was really cute.
I know
So
she looked
yeah.
great. To
Yeah, I
quote a
was like,
past Bachelorette contestant, she was looking like a smoke show,
yes, complete smoke show.
complete
Yeah.
smoke show.
That orange sequin dress was so cute. So not a lot happened obviously during the rose ceremony. Biggest thing is she chose Chalk first, then Guy, and then I wrote down Pascal's name before she even said Pascal because I was like, if it's Jordan, I'm just walking away from this TV. So of course I went to Pascal, and then they're going to Tahiti.
Ooh.
Exciting. They get to go somewhere. So good for them actually getting to go somewhere. So do you have predictions at this point? Do you think it's just going to be Chalk all the way, or do you, or is it going to be a surprise?
Well, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, and in the past, I mean last week, I said I'm always wrong. Why not choose the least obvious choice, the person who's clearly going to lose, who is Jordan? And
Mm-hmm.
then Jordan clearly lost. So what does that tell me? That tells me I need to bet on the winning horse. And the winning horse in this race is the roller coaster known as Chock, the old American Eagle.
Okay, I'll bet for Pascal just to make it interesting.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, but I like taking chances. But not like Jordan as a chance. That was too much of a chance. I was like, that
It's too
doesn't
much
make
of a
sense to me.
chance. Yeah.
Too much of a chance.
Exactly.
And I like Guy. I just don't see it enough between the two of them. I just am not seeing any like chemistry, Like
Yeah.
I would say with her and Chalk and her and Pascal, it's the most evident,
Mhm.
because she
Well,
was
guy's
like,
hard to
oh,
root for too. I was like, I'm sorry you have a perfect jawline and you're incredibly handsome, well into your 60s and rich enough to live on Lake Tahoe. I think you'll be okay.
well, yeah, no matter, well, I mean, obviously he's been through some rough stuff. His family
Yeah.
talked about that and whatever. And I was like, oh God, not another one embroiled in controversy. But I don't think it was actually,
No.
I don't think it was his fault. But who knows? But I don't think so.
Yeah. And it's hard with these
Um,
old guys too, because
mhm,
and somebody asked Joan recently, I think she was on like the Vile Files or something like that.
mhm.
And they're like, yeah, so this thing with Guy, like, what's up with that? And I guess her response was, well, we're all old as shit, so we've lived entire lives, and
Right.
large swaths of those lives may not be things we're proud of, which is that's fair.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think Joan is like a really, yeah, she's just like a very level-headed, gracious person.
Yeah, she is.
Um, yeah, and I mean, and
Unlike
that's
me.
the thing. And that's the thing, like the standards are different, the bars are different, the
Mhm.
evaluation is different. on a show like this versus like The Bachelor or Bachelorette or like Love is Blind. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way you evaluate people is going to look different because of that, and because of how much time people have had to grow and
Yes.
change and go through stuff. And like there's I feel like I've talked about Tell the Bees on here before, Tell the Bees on TikTok, but they were talking about like they've been doing a lot of good stuff, good work around like, oh, so you don't have anything in your life that like you're like that if people like blew it up and put it on social media that you like wouldn't be like ashamed of. Like we've all hurt
Mm-hmm.
people. We've all
Yeah.
done things that are like maybe out of our character or like in a certain situation or like a bad moment or whatever. Like we've all done those things, and to act like you haven't is just like denying being human.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things that are like, I don't know if there's really any coming back from this, or like, or like you have to understand that people might like view you differently and not like you after they find something out. But also, I think it is important to look at like the whole of a person and
Yeah.
the combination of things that they've done to really get a feel for like who they are. And I do think, in the case of Guy, with like the tiny little sliver that we know about him, that
Mm-hmm.
production has let us know about him, that editing has let us know about him, is like he had two very kind moments in the house,
Yeah.
with people who are well liked, and it made him more well liked, and it didn't,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't doing it for any kind of like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna do this and so I'll look good in the house, like
Yeah.
like
No, not
you
at
can
all.
tell like that's not like you
None of
don't get
these
those
guys have that on their
vibes.
mind. There's like
No,
no like
there's no
a past this
strategy
play.
in
No,
this. Yeah,
no.
and that's the other thing. That's like another difference between like this and, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, is like
Mm-hmm.
there's no strategy for like how do I look good in front of the cameras? Like these are all people whose kids put them on the
Mm-hmm.
show for the most part. Like,
Yep.
oh, and it's also interesting, it adds an extra dimension because a lot of those kids are showing up on TikTok and talking about their experiences in a way that you wouldn't see like the parents
Yeah.
of of someone on The
No.
Bachelor or something like that be like, well, this is why editing is wrong, so it's just like it's a totally different way of experiencing the show, and
Mm-hmm.
like the production, and then like what happens outside of production looks so different.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so like I don't know. It could be anyone's game. I think Chock is. I do still think it's like Chock's game to lose.
Yep.
But
Agreed.
yeah, a lot can happen in fantasy suites. Things can. I mean, you brought up Nick Vile. Things can turn upside down. He can
Mm-hmm.
turn totally weird.
You never know.
And then you never know. So, but I think those are good predictions, and we'll find out next week as we get a little bit closer what unfolds. And yeah, we'll talk. We'll figure out a good time for it. Yeah, because I have like so many thoughts about Love Is Blind. I have so many thoughts. I can't even keep them in. It's so frustrating between that and the substance. I have so many feelings. But but until next week, everybody. If you're watching or listening to this before the weekend, have a good weekend. Maybe it would be a better weekend if you went over and any of the places that we have podcasts and you can leave reviews and you just leave a little 5-star review and talk about how nice we are. It would be, no tricks, only treats right now.
Only
Please.
treats.
Thank you. Otherwise it's spooky and I don't like it.
Yeah. And don't do needle drugs.
I was like, I didn't really lead you in that well.
No.
Sorry.
And now we don't have this. Where's the outro music?
It's playing. You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it. Needle drugs. Don't do them, kids. They're bad.